Jesus could not go to heaven and sit at the right hand on the side of God until he endured the suffering. See, he had power, but he did not have authority. Let's get it together. Jesus had power, but he did not have authority. What gave him the authority was the fact that he endured everything and endured the cross. That's where he got the authority. That's where he got the power from. He had the power to do whatever, but the authority came from his endurance. Now watch this. I want to bless you with something. So the Holy Spirit just said that when the remnant shows up, that means that there's a disaster. So you want hope, and you want hope for a future. So therefore, if you showed up during a disaster, then that must mean you were a disaster. That you... Jesus. Listen.
Wow.
Listen.
Wow.
You endured a disaster. You were a disaster.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'm sitting down here. I'm sitting over here and amazed at how God just does things. See, the first word he gave me was, "How grateful are you?" That's his word. It's not my word. That's his word. I pray for that. The second word he said was, "What's in your heart?" Now watch this. Watch what God does. Out of all that mess that's in your heart, it's a remnant down there.
Hey!
Remnant, 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 remnant.
Yes.
And look where we're going. What she said tonight, that's a bridge. And we're going into Revelation because we are all going to know what's going to take place.
And stop looking for a packed out church, because you are the remnant. You survived the disaster. That's why you can show up at the disaster, because you are one. Good God from Zion. That's why you went through all of that. That's why they hurt you. That's why they talked about you. That's why they left you. That's why you and your mama never could have a relationship. That's why the man couldn't stay with you. Because you was a disaster waiting to happen to show up when a disaster came. Because I have called you the witness. You are the great escape. Good God from Zion. Wow. Wow.
And let me hear something to that. I'll wait.
Jesus. 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 So we're headed for utter destruction, and you're on the scene because you have endured destruction. Good God. You have authority over it. You have authority over it. So your authority is, so when the next person come in here with your issue, you can stop it, baby. You can stop it. They don't have to suffer because you endured. Now you have authority over what you have endured. And that's why so many people are messed up and operating in the church right now, because they are in positions that they never receive authority to operate in from God. You are the great, good God from Zion. You are the great escape. Jerome, you're the great escape. Cliff, you're the great escape. You escaped. Jesus. You got something else, PG, because I'm about to close. Watch this while PG is looking for what he's looking for. We're not even going to make it into Revelations. So many of the plans in a man's heart we have so many plans in our heart, but it's only the Lord's purpose that's going to prevail. Your plans don't prevail, God's purpose prevails. So if your heart is full of God's purpose, that's why if you're working at something you don't understand why it ain't going your way, because, baby, that's your plan. That's not his purpose. You can do it if you want to, and you're going to get a want-to result. You're going to get a DIY, do-it-yourself result. There's a plan and there's a purpose. God is after purpose. Everything he does is for a purpose. Anything in your heart ought to hold a purpose. Anything you hold in your mind, in your hand, it has a purpose.
This is coming from Isaiah 37, chapter 30 and 31. It says, and this shall be a sign unto thee. Ye shall eat this year, such as groweth of itself, and the second year, that which springeth of the same. And in the third year sow ye, and reap, and plant vineyards, and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall take root downward, and bear fruit up.
Now watch this. I got to get down to this. I got to get down to this, y'all. I got to. Watch this. God has an eternal deliberation for himself. He goes in deliberation with himself. Everybody know in court, they go in deliberation. God goes in deliberation with himself. Okay? Concerning the best way to accomplish his own purposes. Watch this. He goes in deliberation with himself concerning the best way to accomplish his own purposes. He don't consult with nobody. He don't consult